What does it take to create a healthy diet and lifestyle that you can actually stick to? Today I'm going to be sharing the first part of a three-part series that outlines the stages for creating the healthy diet and lifestyle that you've been desiring. I'm here outside in my gorgeous Tanzanian garden. Opare with Food for the Soul, and here on this channel I share tips and tools you can use to create that healthy diet and lifestyle that you can actually stick to. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, be sure to click the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you'll find out every time I upload a new video. In my work with my clients and in my own journey towards creating a whole and healthy diet and lifestyle, I have observed three stages that people tend to go through on this journey. The first stage is what I call awakening. It's when you first begin to realize that it's time to make a change, that you don't want to go down that path of disease and medications and disability and the trajectory that many people go down. And you realize that by adopting a healthy diet and lifestyle, by adopting a plant-based lifestyle, you can change the outcome that's possible for you. When you have that awakening and you realize you want to choose a different way. And I want to first off say congratulations for getting to that point, because most people do not. Or even if they have an inkling of it, they're not willing to give up their bacon, their cheeseburgers, their whatever it is that they're doing now that feels like it's a sacrifice to give it up, when indeed they're instead sacrificing many years of health and wellness and feeling vibrant and a better life in all kinds of ways, having energy, not being in pain all the time, not being on medication, being 65. I'm 65 and soon to be 66, and I feel great. People always tell me I look much younger, and I know I feel much younger. I feel better than I did when I was 50 before I went vegan. So this is the stage when you really are starting to research. You want to know, what is it this plant-based diet is all about? How do I get enough protein? How do I get enough calcium? How do I get the nutrients I need? What do I need to do? I'm confused. How do I make food that tastes good? How do I feed my family? What about my kids? Can they survive on a vegan diet? You begin to have questions. And this is the time when it's all about getting the information that you need to get started. What other things do I need to do besides just changing my diet? How about yoga? How do I do yoga? What about meditation? What about fasting? What are all the other ways that I can improve my health besides just diet? And so at the awakening stage, this is the time for filling up your knowledge banks with the things that you're going to need to know in order to make this work. This is the time to imagine yourself whole and healthy. What do you want your life to look like? How will you feel in your body? What will you be able to do with your family, with your children, your grandkids? How will this impact what you can do in your community? How will this impact you at work? What will you be able to do once you have become whole and healthy, once you have made this diet and lifestyle change? And I suggest this video here, which is leading you through imagine yourself whole and healthy process, so that you can have a really clear picture of how you want to live your life, the impact you want to make in the world. What is your reason for wanting to change your diet and lifestyle? What do you want to accomplish? Are you trying to get off your medications? Are you trying to lose weight? Are you unable to do the things that you want to do right now? Or are you just doing this in a preventive way? You're fine now, but you want to stay that way. What is it that is your reason? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. For me, the awakening process began actually not around food, but it was around education. And when I got done with school, I felt stupid. I didn't get very good grades. I was a C student. I always struggled to study, and the textbooks that they assigned us to read were so boring. I couldn't sit there and absorb it, and I felt like there was something wrong with me. I was stupid. And it wasn't until my daughter was born, and all of a sudden, the education books and resources that I had collected during my years in school, grad school and undergrad, became fascinating to me. I could sit down and read about Montessori, about Piaget, about childhood development, about the stages of learning, about the different ways that different people learn, about the different ways that I learn. And suddenly I realized I wasn't stupid at all. It was not anything wrong with me. It was that the school system was jacked up. The school system wasn't really designed to help me to become the best that I could be. And so that was my first awakening that led me to question, what is the common knowledge? What is the common narrative that is being presented out there to us? Then when I learned about veganism and why to be vegan, I had tried to be vegetarian back when I was in college. I would have a day, like a no meat day or something. But of course it would be macaroni and cheese, or something with eggs or cheese, and it was not vegan. I didn't even know anything about vegan then. But then in 2007 is when I really learned about veganism and why veganism is important. And then that awareness of how our health and wellness system, just like the education system, is not based on actually wanting us to be healthy. It's based on the pharmaceutical companies' profits, on the hospital industrial complex profits, and they're not telling people about what it is that we actually need to do in order to not have diabetes, to not have high blood pressure, to not have cancer, or if we do have it now, how we can reverse it. All they do is tell us to take this medication or have this surgery, or they're learning all these fancy high-tech solutions that make them a lot of money. Maybe they feel good, they like learning it and doing that stuff, but it isn't stuff that's actually effective for helping us get healthy. And once again, I knew that this was not the path for me, that I wanted to choose a different path. I wanted to be able to go and do many things in my life and to feel good and to look good. And so I started on this path of a plant-based diet. And I did the research. I had a lot of recipe books, I would watch videos, and I would get in the kitchen and experiment. I would try different recipes, and I started by taking the recipes that I already knew and looked for how I could make them be vegan. What could I use instead of the meat? What could I use instead of the cheese? I looked at which recipes that I was already making that were vegan, that, accidentally vegan, the guacamole and marinated broccoli and other things like that I was already eating that was vegan. And then I began to incorporate new recipes, kale salads and smoothies, and learning how to use tempeh and tofu and chorizo sausages and other things like that. And gradually over time, my repertoire of recipes expanded, my skills in the kitchen expanded, my confidence in the kitchen expanded. And this is the process that we go through during the awakening stage. It's really the mind food. What is it that I need to know about making this lifestyle work for me? So in the awakening stage, that's what we focus on. And it's about practice. Everything's not going to be perfect right away. It's about using what you learn along the way to perfect the process. And also then to observe what's happening to you. How much weight are you losing? How do you feel? Do you have more energy? Do you sleep better? Do you have better focus? Look at those things, notice those things, so that you have evidence for yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you, your friends and family are gonna think you're gonna die, or you're gonna get all skinny, or you're gonna be protein deficient. So having your own evidence is very, very important. One of the first things I always suggest when I'm working with people is to do a whole and healthy journal, a lifestyle journal, a food journal. And there's a video here on how to do that. And this journal becomes your research project. You're going to research, you're going to keep track of everything that you're doing, what you're eating, how you're feeling, and it goes much more in detail in the video, but this will become your guidebook to see how the way you're behaving, the choices that you are making are influencing how you feel. And it'll give you the information that you need to know to say, oh, you know what, I can't eat this particular food. You know, bananas, they taste good and all, but they give me gas. They make me feel bloated. Or, you know, I love Indian food, but I don't like the spice. The spice just gives me heartburn. Or these nut pates, these things that are made of nuts, they taste delicious, but the nuts, they make my tongue feel irritated. Whatever it is for you, you will find out which things work for you and which things don't work for you. And as you go on into other stages of your whole and healthy process, you will find that your journal will have so much information in it that will help you be successful. Here's a video about protein and why you don't need to worry about protein. What's the biggest question you have about plant-based nutrition? Leave it down below and I'll try to answer it in a future video. Here's a video that I did about what wellness isn't. We've been confused. We're all confused because there's been so much misinformation thrown at us that we get confused and we don't know which way to turn, what to do. So this time, this awakening time, is your time to get clear, to make up your own mind. Don't believe everything everybody else says. Think about what makes sense to you. Do your own research, listen to your body, and awaken to what is possible for you. During this process, as you become more and more proficient, you'll begin to move towards the next stage, which is what I call the empowerment stage. In the second stage is when you bump into the realities of what it's like to live this whole and healthy lifestyle amongst your friends and family who aren't making the same choices. And this is what we'll talk about next week in the next video. That's it for today from my gorgeous Tanzanian garden. If you like this video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe and share this video with others who you think could use this information. Kwaheri, goodbye. See you next week.